This is Sneaker Years. My name is Levi, and today I wanted to go over the top 5 things that you may need to know before you get your Jordan 34. Alright, so Jordan did some really cool things with the 34, and obviously, if you guys haven't seen, my first videos on YouTube, what I call the Decades Collection, where I went through 1 through 30, and 1, 11, 21, and then now I can actually probably extend that collection. But Jordan really took heritage from the 4, 14, 24, and now the 34. But the first thing you want to notice is this is the first Jordan to have visible air since the Jordan 6. So that is something really cool and you guys can say, well, maybe the Jordan 17 had that kind of encapsulated heel air, but you couldn't really see it. The Jordan 21 had a little window showing that, hey, there's zoom or there's air when you change out the interchangeable cushioning, but you couldn't really see the cushioning. And the Jordan 26 and 27 had removable midsoles, again, but you can't really see it. So the fact that you could see the actual zoom unit in all of its glory is just really cool. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, if you may notice, that little plastic piece is because there's actually a hole there as well. So it's going to give that zoom unit a lot of room to expand and actually absorb that impact and rebound back. So as Nightwing has said, the energy return of this is real. Second is the Eclipse plate. It looks like it's all new technology. It looks like, oh man, that's a little bit too much. But light plate, the speed plate, now the Eclipse plate all owe its kind of genealogy from the Jordan 24. And you could see even right here, if they just kept this outsole going, you have a little hole in there. Just like the Jordan 34. Now this is technically a Jordan 24 or the 2009, and they took inspiration from this. So this, you have a carbon fiber plate, and this was the inspiration where this would kind of spring you forward, and it actually really works. Now it's heavy, it's a little bulky, but this is still a fantastic shoe. But this inspiration from the Eclipse plate is really going to work. It's not just a gimmick, and this is something that this is the only technology that you really feel compared to anything else on the market, where that propulsion forward, you feel like the shoe is actually pushing you. Now running shoes have been able to do the same thing most recently, where carbon fiber plates and like the Vaporfly from Nike, Hoka and their Carbon X, even Skechers, they have the new Elite Hyper, I forgot, Speed. All of them have carbon fiber plates that you can really feel pushing you forward. But so when you guys see a Jordan brand that has that Eclipse plate now, or if you're looking in the past has a flight plate or speed plate, you're really getting something that no other brand offers. Jordan is claiming this is the lightest weight Jordan to date. The 29 took that title before, and before the 29 it was the 28, where Jordan kind of made the 28 the renaissance of getting back to core performance. And I guess it took them 6 years. They got off track a little bit, and I would say the 32 and 33 kind of veered that line where they were going for more hype and style versus just on-court performance. But the Jordan 29 was the lightest until then. This is a size 13, and I can attest it's really light. So if it's going to be lighter than this, I'm actually super impressed. Now, one thing that Jordan hasn't said in mind, they're talking about the signature shoes. The reason I bring that up is the Jordan 28 SE was really light without that shroud, as well as the Jordan 29 Low was a little bit lighter still. So even though this is the lightest signature Jordan, it may not be the lightest Jordan ever. And honestly, if you can still get your hands on a Jordan 28 or a Jordan 29, they're still absolutely unbelievable performance standards even today, no matter how many years later. The cushion, the traction, the fit on both of those models, and it's a toss up for me, which I like. I think I like the 28 better, but you're gonna find many reviewers prefer the 29, and there's a lot of reviewers out there, and I'll throw out Jock Slade. His go-to sneaker for basketball was 29, and he's even said the 34 is going to be replacing it. So that does speak high volumes. Number 4 are the materials. Now, this is the first Jordan really since probably the Jordan 21 that I can think of, where the Jordan 21 you had a full leather upper or a full nubuck upper that really can change the shoe a little bit. You've had different combinations of materials. The Jordan 33, you still have that kind of cheap net, and then they change what the materials are made of depending on the colorway. But the Jordan 34 upper, in the first 4 colorways announced already, have all had 3 different colorways. You have one that's more of a performance mesh. You have one that looks more of a ripstop, or they're calling it a Lenovo weave. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. And then the amber colorway, as well as the China exclusive colorway, both have kind of a suede look to it, or kind of a fur, but it's definitely a different material. Now, it feels almost like Jordan Brand is taking from Adidas, and this will go into number 5 as well, where all these materials potentially will play different, will weigh differently. So not only do they look different, but if you get a Jordan 34 and you're not happy with it, one, I would recommend, I always try to get mine from Jordan or Nike, because if they don't fit or there's an issue, you can take it back. But if you try one on and the fit is off for whatever reason, there's going to be multiple different materials. Now, the thing that gets me excited for this is, for both the Jordan 31 and 32, we had NRG versions with leather and suede, and some of the mock-ups for the Jordan 34 in leather, woo, they look good. So I hope they can come out with a natural or raw leather version, which would just be sick. But the way the upper is made, they can really have flexibility to change the upper material, and hopefully it doesn't change the performance too much, but that's something you want to keep in mind. Number 5, and this is actually pretty interesting, the Jordan 34 is the first Jordan in about 10 years to actually use herringbone. The last Jordan that used it to a version was a Jordan 25. Before that is going back to the 15, 14, 13, 12, and 11. And then before that was going back to a version for the 3 and the 4. So herringbone is not something that's been used all the time for Jordan. It is something that has been used sparingly. My negative aspect is Jordan finds some really good traction patterns in different models. And as opposed to evolving and growing from it, they just change it up entirely. I think the worst case scenario was Jordan 28. One of the, if not the best traction ever, and we've never seen any other version like it. The Jordan 29, people had a lot of really good success with it. Here's my colorway. Now, I had these dyed black, so if you guys are wondering that's a fake or this isn't a real shoe, this is the Black History Months with a lace swap and a dyed sole. But that traction pattern for me was good. I never had issues with it really, but the 28 was just so much better. This was kind of a letdown. And then the 30 for me, actually, I thought performed a little bit better than this, even though people really hated on the 30. But needless to say, the 29 and 30 had a little bit of an evolution. I appreciated that. 34, we're going back to just herringbone. And case in point, it brings me up my Adidas point. Adidas was a huge culprit of just doing the same thing on many shoes, and that comes to, not necessarily negative, but say they're putting boost on their shoe. All their shoes have boost. They're doing it this year with Light Strike. Almost all their shoes are going to have Light Strike. Now, last year they switched over to everything having herringbone. So now the worst thing about herringbone is it's consistent. That's not actually that bad. But at the same time, when you have a signature shoe, when you have something special, it is unique. It's nice to know if a company does something unique with a traction pattern, whether that's personal, whether that's science-based, where you're getting something specific to that shoe. Herringbone's herringbone. We're just looking at anything from Under Armour right now. Now again, herringbone's good. You shouldn't have any issues with it. It's just not special. And for Jordan Brand to make it like, hey, we put our best, no, you didn't. You've had better tractions before. That being said, it's consistent. I don't think we're gonna have any issues. And whether they have solid outsoles, which is all the ones I've seen so far, clear outsoles, herringbone is generally gonna do really well. Even on a bad implementation, it's never that bad. All in all, I'm actually really excited for Jordan 34. I will be picking my pair up. We will have a review and we are going to be comparing it. One last note I wanted to touch on, and this isn't a 5, is the price point at $180. It is very unusual. One, they actually went $5 more expensive than last year, but they took away some tech as far as not having that fast fit system. Now, if you're trying to go light, I definitely understand that, but then why are they adding money to it? And then on top of that, this is the highest end Jordan. This is supposed to be the elite basketball shoe, but it's still $20 cheaper than the Kobe FF. It's $20 cheaper than the LeBron 17 coming out. It's actually the same price as the every player shoe that I don't agree with that statement, but that's how Nike is billing it, Alpha Dunk. And that is a weird price point to be. Are you better? Are you going to be priced higher than that? Are you less expensive, so you're going to be a better value? Just a really weird price point. Now, if you don't have $180, or you're looking at this saying, man, that's kind of expensive, Jordan Brand does have their Jumpman 2020 that just released. I believe it's available on Eastbay already, and that is using a very similar 4-foot zoom cushion, but not the same setup. It's not unlocked, and that's $110. Big difference in price. The LeBron 17 actually has the Witness 4 with those same huge zoom pods in the 4-foot for $100. So if you're looking for that 4-foot zoom where you have that really bouncy cushion, you don't have to spend $180 on the Jordan. Now, something unique for the Jordan Brand for 2019 through 2020, all of their shoes are almost exclusively 4-foot zoom only. The Jordan 34 is one of a select few shoes in Nike and Jordan's lineup where you are getting heel and 4-foot zoom. Those include obviously your LeBron series where you have heel air and 4-foot zoom, so heel and 4-foot cushion, your KD line where you have full length, as well as your LeBron 14 with that heel and 4-foot zoom, and really ironically, the Kyrie 2 low with a very minimal zoom setup, but still heel and 4-foot. So the Jordan Brand, if you're looking for a heel and 4-foot zoom setup, it is unique. There's not many shoes that are going to have that, but having that lightweight cushion in a max cushion package is something that I think the KD 12 and even last year with the Kobe AD kind of kicked off, where you have something that's really lightweight but has a lot of cushion to it. It's just an awesome feeling on court being able to have max cushion but not have this heavy bulky shoe. So the 34 should be really fun to play in. I'm excited about it, but again, if you are for whatever reason not happy about the price, not something you want to spend or you can't spend, don't feel like, hey, this is giving you something that only you can get with the Jordan 34. The Why Not 2 is still an amazing shoe that's going to give you that kind of propulsion feeling, the huge 4-foot zoom unit. The KD 12 is something that's super lightweight, still a max cushion setup, and not to mention the takedown models in the Jordan Jumpman 2020 and or the LeBron Witness 4 with that 4-foot zoom are all going to give you, I'm going to say, similar performance in various regards for a lot less money. So does that make the Jordan Brand any less good? No, it should be amazing, but we'll find out when we put it to the test. And this is the only channel where you're really going to see it being compared and tell you what it's good for, who is it for, and how it really stacks up. Guys, girls, all my basketball players out there, this is Levi with Sneaker Gears. Really appreciate you. If you guys have any questions, obviously once I get the shoe, I'll post it on IG. You can follow us there. And really appreciate you guys. I'll come at you later.